I think I'd like to spend the first couple of minutes here recounting an anecdote that I think is totally relevant to our current situation at Evergold. Back in 2014, I was president of a private BC company called Newcrest Minerals, and I'd been tasked with completing the geochemistry over a target in the Golden Triangle, which is now known as Saddle. And we did that in 2014. We wrapped up the geochemistry. We had what was possibly, and I thought, the best geochemical anomaly I'd ever seen in my working career. But the owners of this private company were wealthy and they were based offshore. They had no interest in exploration. They were fed up. They just wanted to give it away or option it away. So that was the key thing I was tasked with doing, was getting rid of this asset. So we really tried, right? This is 2014 and we're in the depths of a recession in this business. We shopped it around to Antofagasta, Imperial Metals, Anglo, to Haywood, the Canacords, everybody, trying to find anybody who would take it off their hands. And nobody was interested, zero interest. So I said, you guys are nuts to try to sell this asset. It's that good. Just shut the company down, just mothball it. So that's what we did in December 2014, shut it down. I lost my job. We went away for 18 months. But in the spring of 2016, I noticed that some gold deals were starting to be done again. Not precious, not rather base metals, just gold. I went back to them. I said, listen, we can't sell and we don't want to sell this thing, but we can get it public. So we commenced a get public transaction. It ultimately emerged as an RTO and became GT Gold. But the short story is that in the middle of July in 2016, over a summer weekend when it's absolute doldrums trying to raise money in this country, we were able to raise $2.5 million over that weekend, getting Ross Beatty in, Eric Coffin came in, we had a Russian oligarch, people were falling all over themselves to give us money, and I even used the exact same PowerPoint presentation I'd used 2 years before. No change whatsoever, but on the one occasion they're throwing money at you. 2 years before, nobody's interested. And that's where we are right now, I think, with many of these companies and with Evergold in particular. There's real value in the ground, and I'm sure it's going to pay off in the longer term, but the market has to be responsive. So I'll walk you through where the value is in this company. Of course, the forward-looking statements bit you've all seen before. I'll be making some of them. I'd like to focus today on two key value propositions in our company. One is a property in northern British Columbia. It's called Golden Line, and it's basically a gold-silver property. It's located here. Some of you may know the Toodoggin mining camp. Doggone is really how you might say it. It's in north central BC, but it's linked to the Golden Triangle, which you're probably more familiar with over to the west. And the link between the Toodoggin and the Golden Triangle is the Stikine terrain. It's a similar back arc complex of volcanics and intrusives, about 170 to 200 million years old. So we're in it, and this has been a hot camp recently. It was known historically for high-grade underground mines. You may know Benchmark and Thesis, which has been a big success over the last year. Also TDG Gold. They're basically redeveloping some of these high-grade past producers into bulk tonnage and possibly combined bulk tonnage high-grade underground operations. So we're right up against Thesis. It's emerging. They're busy building new bridges across the Toodoggin River this summer, and in the near future we'll be able to drive again to the Golden Line property. And what we've got there, and you may have seen this story before at Great Bear Resources and elsewhere, we have a long fault structure which we've traced across about 7 kilometers of the property. And in the core 2.7 kilometers of it, which you see there in rather gentle terrain by BC standards, we've got a very strong gold and silver anomaly. And this property was drilled initially by Newmont back in the early 1980s. It was actually 1984. And in that core area that you can see there that's surrounded by the black triangle, they actually put in a series of drill holes, and every hole hit from widely spaced pads. But they made a mistake, in my view. They didn't do any undercuts on any of their pads, despite the fact that all their holes hit. And they typically hit intercepts of broad, low-grade mineralization from surface. 100 meters of 1 gram, that kind of material. So we took this property on in 2013. We've done a lot of additional work. We started drilling it in 2020 and 2021. Last year, we really struggled with the program. We had labor shortages due to COVID. But the long and short of it is we've got a very broad gold zone sitting on surface. It's an epithermal system. It's got bulk tonnage characteristics. But in the last 3 holes of our program last year, we delivered, without question, the highest grade domain, our first high-grade domain, and genuine high-grade material coming right to surface. We couldn't even finish the program there. We had to leave the pads in place because the driller gave us 28 days, and that was it. So we bailed out, but we're going back into Golden Line GL1 main zone with the focus on the high grade, and this is some of it. We're getting individual samples up to over 40 grams of gold. We get very high silver, up to almost 1 kilogram in some of these individual samples. And we're going to get right back into that zone starting early in July. So there's news coming soon. We're fully financed for that. We've got about $2 million in the treasury. And this is what some of that material looks like. It's beautiful looking, high grade, massive sulfides. And when we see that now, we know we have hit the goods. So this is Golden Line. You can see there in the red, that's the high grade domain encompassed by the broader bulk tonnage style intercepts. And as at Great Bear Resources, it's likely that as we bring up the drill density and expand along strike, that we're going to find more of these high-grade domains. And it will run deep and it'll run along strike. So we're about to follow up, do the exciting work. The only thing anybody cares about is drill holes and drill results, and they're about to start. We'll have a program roughly 2,000 meters of drilling, which we'd hope to expand depending on the results of this work. So the news flow will start in July. And I just mention here, if any of you doubt that the market will respond in current market circumstances, rotten market circumstances, to high-grade results, look at what happened to Aton Resources with high-grade results out of their Egypt play within the last month. They had been trading almost nothing. They had a sharp spike, tripled their share price, and have settled out well above where they were. So you can make money in current markets, and we're aiming to deliver capital gains opportunities to our shareholders. The second area of unrecognized value in this company is our Rockland property that we've got the option to earn into 100% on. We optioned it early last year. It's an old mine play. You may know the Walker Lane in the western side of Nevada. It's hot currently because of a big discovery by Anglo called Silicon. What we have at Rockland is a lovely old mine, high-grade vein system, and on the east side of the property, a similar high-grade system. But what we're looking for there is a possible intrusive center that could drive it all, something with real scale potential. And we may have found it. We've completed recently some geophysics over the property, and what you're looking there at is a single line. We're looking for coincident chargeability and resistivity anomalies, and the scale of what we're turning up is really encouraging. So we may be about to reopen this property in a big way, and it will be drill permitted very soon. So I'll wrap it up pretty well there. We do have a proven team. Our chief geologist, Charlie Gregg, has just won the Bill Dennis Award at PDAC, is going to be given the award on Tuesday. That's for our saddle discovery at GT, which, by the way, we sold out to Newmont last year for $400 million. We have money, we've got an attractive capital structure, and a strong ownership position from insiders. So come back and see us. It's a great time to buy. We have a booth at PDAC as well. Thank you.